From what I understand, Kevin Karius of Sports1440 called that Connor Brown goal last night, his first of the season. Am I right on that, Dick? Did you nail it?
Yes, you are exactly right. We had that yesterday morning on Sports 1440. And the reason why, Hot Rod, was because yesterday was Good Samaritan Day. So I figured, you know what? Because of what Connor Brown did in Pittsburgh on Sunday, where he had a chance to shoot with 2-3 seconds left in the game, instead passed off to Darnell Nurse, who had an opportunity for a hat trick. It was a kind of a Good Samaritan move, Good Samaritan Day. So I made the call yesterday, and hey, one went in off his skate, gets off the Schneid, first goal in 72 games, 720 days. And the building was, I've never seen a bigger 7-2 goal in all my years covering the NHL. Never seen a bigger 7-2 goal. It was really fun to watch, and everyone was really happy for Connor Brown.
I was going to say, explain to the people that don't know outside the Oiler Nation how this had become a thing. Connor McDavid's buddy, Connor Brown, hadn't scored all year. It was becoming, like, you talk about a monkey on a back. That was an ape.
So he signed in the offseason, and he signs for a league minimum. But because he's an older player, they could extend his contract because the Oilers are, like every team, in salary cap purgatory. So they sign him, but they put $3.25 million towards next year and the signing bonus that will go on next year's cap. Well, he gets out of the gates. He had the knee surgery, extensive knee surgery. He hadn't scored since he played in Ottawa. Gets hurt at the beginning of the year in Washington. Doesn't play. Gets to camp, and he's way behind the 8 ball in the sense of where he is compared to other players. It took him a long time just to get going, but now he's really snake bitten. He can't find the net, go off the crossbar, off everything, and fans are getting on him because they think that he's the second line right winger that was brought in. So this carries on again all the way, 72 games, 55 here, and finally he scores last night. The place erupted, gave him a standing ovation. The players' bench, if you see the shot of the players' bench, the players are going bananas for this guy. They love him on the team, and if he can now continue this on down the stretch and into the playoffs, it's it's like a trade deadline acquisition, really it is.
Yeah, but isn't it nice that, and I think the Oilers, correct me if I'm wrong, have won 7 of their last 9, that this story was kind of a fun thing. Mm-hmm. A lot of places, and in Oilers' days past, they'd be upset that he hadn't scored and say they wasted the pick. It's nice that you guys got good vibes flowing in Edmonton, or at least that's what I sense all the way down here.
I would say in the last few months, it hasn't been that way with Connor Brown. He has been the whipping boy. He's been getting it from a lot of fans. But the thing is that he's been playing well. He's contributing on the penalty kill. He's being aggressive. He needs to go harder to the net. And lo and behold, how does he score his goal last night? Goes hard to the net, and he's rewarded off the skate, a pass from Evander Kane, who also said he kind of called it last night on TNT on that broadcast. So a kind of double whammy, and no one's happier than his teammates for Connor Brown to hit the score sheet. And we'll see what happens moving forward here.
Well, you come from a hockey family. You know the game. I would put as much faith in your thoughts or predictions as anybody's. Or maybe you're too close to it to know. I don't know. What do you see happening for the Oilers this year? Because they've had some good runs the last 2 years. What are you sensing?
I wouldn't want to play them. I wouldn't want to play them, and I'm not as close to the team as I once was, Rod, when I was doing the games on radio as a fill-in on the Oilers radio network from 2003 to 2010. So I've been more removed. Having said that, since I started the radio gig 6 months ago, I'm a lot more involved in it now, more hands-on in the locker room and things like that. People forget that last year in the playoffs against the Vegas Golden Knights, the Oilers were 2-2. It's a best of 3. They had 2 lapses in Game 5 and Game 6 in the second period where they gave up 3 goals, 3 of them to Jonathan Marchessault, and then in Game 6 alone. And then in Game 5, similar situation. They never got a save from Stuart Skinner. They never got that big goal, and they couldn't stop the bleeding twice in Games 5 and 6. We could easily be talking about the Oilers being Stanley Cup champions last year had they got a save from Stuart Skinner, or had Jack Campbell maybe got a start. or some other elements that would have gone on. Because as we know, Vegas went on and had an easier series against Seattle and then an easier series against Florida. That was by far the toughest series that Vegas had last year against the Oilers.
Well, there's examples of this. The Winnipeg Jets, 80s, we all know it. We were all around. Yeah. They just got beaten by better teams, right? And then the Vancouver Canucks got to the Stanley Cup final, and that window eventually closed. I think the thing for the Oilers, what you're saying is the window is still open and will be, I guess, for as long as 29 and 97, we're blue and orange. Am I right?
The key for me down the stretch and into the playoffs is Leon Draisaitl. The roster makeup as such, when you have a line that is as good, it's as good of a line in hockey right now, when you have McDavid and Zach Hyman, who scored 3 goals last night, got 46 on the year, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. That's as good of a first line as you're going to have in hockey. Now, can Connor and that line do as well as what they're doing down in the playoffs? Yes, because they got Zach Hyman. They have Nugent-Hopkins on the wings. The key for me, 100%, is Leon Draisaitl. Can he continue to drive a line with the wingers that he has? He doesn't have a Hyman, doesn't have a Nugent-Hopkins. He has to do it with 3 guys, either rotating in my mind. You got McLeod, you got Warren Foegele, and then you've got Evander Kane. However the roster makeup and the lines go moving forward, Leon Draisaitl is the key to this, bar none, because the third and fourth line's now a lot deeper. You got Henrique at center at 3C. The fourth line with Carrick in the middle, deeper, bigger. So to me, 100% will revolve on exactly what Leon Draisaitl can do, leading that number 2 line moving forward into the playoffs.
Now for the more fun stuff. In the couple minutes we have left is when I come on your show and we talk about things that aren't sports. You look like you're down some weight. So has this switch from late night television to morning radio been a better lifestyle thing for you?
I would say yes. I'm getting up. Obviously, I get up a little earlier. My day is technically done at 11. However, I'll do client calls. After that, I'll go down to Oilers practice, and I can go to the game. Last night, I'm at the game. And again, with the late start, it's tougher, a little tough. But I'm enjoying this gig like you wouldn't believe. 33 years in TV, Hot Rod. I think I did about, I know you count your shows and things like that. The amount of sportscasts I did in 33 years across Alberta and Saskatchewan at almost every market, probably 13 to 14,000 sportscasts. When you think about it, we had a half-hour show. You're doing the 6 for 3-4 minutes. But we've seen the landscape change, and I'm proud to be a part with what Jason Gregor started here at 1440, and proud that we've continued on. It's been 6 months, and we've had a blast. So far.
Well, you're finally working, right?
You lie to your friends, I'll lie to mine, but let's not BS each other.
Let's not lie to each other. Yeah, right. Yes. Okay. Well, that's good, man. The one thing, you need to update your headshot or get Control GX.
On what?
The headshot that we...
Oh, here.
Why? Yeah, it's a little whiter.
Well, I'm 57, Hot Rod.
That's
I only have a few good years left. You know what? I got to quickly say, I phoned my mom yesterday in Melville, Saskatchewan. I phoned her. And
How's she doing?
Cheryl, she's doing well. Thanks for asking. And, as we've talked, our dads were good friends and colleagues for a long time, being in the hockey circles in Saskatchewan. I said, Mom, I'm going to be on the Rod Pedersen show tomorrow. And she said, Rod Pedersen? Is that guy still in the business?
I know that for a second.
Just kidding, because she listened to you. She listened to you every game, as you know. She was one of your biggest fans when you're doing the Rider broadcast and things like that. So she listened to every game, and she misses you dearly, as many people do doing the Rider games.
Well, don't be so cheap. Pay for some cable TV for her, and she'll get it every day.
I told her, and she goes, Game TV? So she said, I just subscribed to him on the interweb, she said. I said, you didn't pay for it, did you?
Okay.
She goes, no.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Dick. Appreciate it. Keep in touch.
Buddy. Yeah. All right, buddy.
Kevin Karius, the Ukrainian Nightmare, joining us from Edmonton.